Josiah, what's your favorite color? Is it red?
Red.
Is it blue?
Blue.
Is it green?
Red.
Is it purple?
Blue.
I don't care, you're yellow.
Hey guys, this is CallanLoF with a new episode of Mock Talks, and you guys seem to like the last one with Ganon. I wanted to do one with JoJo because I've been really busy lately. The last highlight was later than I would have liked it, and I thought it would be cool to do another one of these and explore JoJo since he's had a lot of updates in recent history that are fun to talk about and to compare with his extended history as my little brother and his whole self-mocks run of things. So to start, the bit that I did here at the beginning is completely fictional. The reason why JoJo's yellow is because his original mock was designed by a guy named Adam Toe. I accidentally just made a noise by dropping the mock. Here is what more or less the version that was around for a while based off of the winning entry. It's a larger Matoran build for Toa size stuff. So it's what I still have around for the most part. This was his representation. He won the contest and I chose him as the winner of the contest because it was a cool model with some fun features, and it was the easiest thing I had at the time to represent JoJo since I didn't have a lot of Turaga, Toa, or Toa Nuva masks that other entries were using to give JoJo a face, and this was the easiest thing to get a hold of since I already had Meltdown. So I thought, oh, that works out. It's a good mock and it's the best thing. Of course, the problem is that it has this kind of cool side face that's unique, but from the front, it just looks like a weird kind of tree-shaped thing. I don't know what you even call it. It does not look like a face, that's for sure, and it always felt weird when you put him, say, next to Davix or Callan here, that obviously he's the Matoran, these are Matoran scale, and he was compared to Toa at the time, but this version always felt a little off because of this head. He never really felt like he was a Matoran, in my opinion. He just looked too unique. He felt like he was some kind of a adopted child as opposed to being directly brothers with these two characters. And I probably could have done some kind of explanation for it, but it never did. I never had an inspiration for anything like that with Callan and Davix, with the character. And ultimately, as things got later and later, and now in recent highlights, I've gotten closer and closer with Josiah, and he's shown up in live streams. I wanted to make him a little model that would better represent him while, still paying tribute to this version and how he's historically looked with the yellow and black color scheme. So in order to do that, I wanted to focus the color scheme a bit more. The layering on this version was never spectacular. It's just been kind of lots of blacks and yellows mixed back and forth. So I wanted to focus the color scheme by making it yellow hands, yellow feet, yellow mask, yellow little part of the chest, and then the rest is all black. And I think that ended up working out pretty well. Of course, obviously there's some black on the hands, but that's kind of unavoidable from those pieces. Overall, it's broadly yellow there, and I think that color distribution looks pretty good. But the biggest problem here, of course, in terms of making him updated and fit in with the crew was getting a new head, getting a new mask. But maybe a year or so ago, I had the idea of using the Monog Pakari mask that has been 3D printed by many folks these days. The original team of Monog, the Motunui Online game, designed this as the basic cartoony image of the Pakari, and it just does not look like the Pakari as much as it looks like a weird version of the Ruru. And I thought that's kind of perfect considering the Ruru is the mask I have for Callan, and as JoJo and I have gotten closer, there's a likeness there while giving JoJo a unique mask, a mask that no one's ever had before, so he's unique in that regard. And yeah, just being able to find something that I could get in yellow. I asked two people in the community to try and make versions for me, LMK2332 on Instagram and Mercury Mox. Mercury Mox suggested I get his friend Ovanel to do it, and so Ovanel and LMK both sent me their versions. LMK did a good version. He gave me a couple other good ones as well. But overall, I was more impressed with the closeness of the paint by Ovanels. I was able to use that on the highlights, and that's the one he's had since. The first video I actually used LMKs. I tried to like use some extra paint that I thought would be make it a little closer, since I scratched LMKs, to be honest. The yellow one that he gave me initially, I'd like tried to scratch it to see if I could make it closer, and I just made it look worse. So I bought some spray paint to try and see if I could fix it. Didn't really fix it. Here's the LMK one that was in his first appearance. I've unfortunately just made it look like it's covered in honey or something. Overall, the plastic quality was pretty good, but the paint color was not as close as I wanted it to be. Ultimately, I was more satisfied with this version that was provided by Ovanel, and he did a really great job. And he gave me a bunch of bonus masks, which was very generous of him, and I'm very grateful for both of them and what they provided me. So that's essentially the story of how I wanted to design the mock with a new head, but of course I had to now redesign this pre-existing body, because JoJo's had this kind of body design in the past before, and I had to redesign it to fit a Mana head. And I started working on that before I even got these masks that I bought from them. And ultimately I came up with this kind of weird multi-neck design where he has a ton of articulation that's not very natural at all. It looks ridiculous when you see it in the back and from this angle. But it's very useful, and if I keep it forward for the most part, that I can kind of have him look up and down a little bit. He can't look down very far, but he can get sides of the head. He can spin the head at the stick there. So lots of range of motion, and it ended up being a perfect design for making this character have a posable head, which is a lot of the movements I do in my videos, just lots of head gestures and tilts and such. And then the arms are loose enough for a little bit of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the figure's concerned. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to have more videos with JoJo, and who knows, Davix as well, maybe down the line as well. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to keep making highlights. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a great day.